And we have Elaine Fiore, and she's going to talk to us about Florida Food Waste Prevention Week, which I am super excited about. And to be honest with you, Elaine, I'm not sure how many times you've done this. And I'm very interested to hear how it's going, how it started. And I know you're going to cover all that. So I'm just going to let you take it away. And I am going to time you. We leave 5 minutes at the end for Q&A and discussion. So you have about 15 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So thank you all for having me. I'm very excited to be here to talk to you about Florida Food Waste Prevention Week. My name's Elaine Fiore, and I am an environmental educator. I'm also the leader of the Food Conservation Alliance and chair of our planning committee. So I'll have you go ahead and beep the next one. So what our committee is made up of the Florida Department of Agriculture, Environmental Protection, the EPA. So we've got our state agencies, as well as nonprofits and other colleges and other organizations that have come together to plan this week. We've been planning it for over a year. It was actually supposed to happen in October, but thankfully it got postponed till now, which is winning on Reducing Food Month. Okay, I'll have you beep the next one for us. So I'll give you a little background of the event, talk to you about how to be a partner, and share with you some resources to get involved. So I got involved in this food recovery journey about 4 years ago, working in the school system, looking at the amount of food that's wasted by students in our school cafeterias. So the solution to that are share tables. So here in Broward County, we piloted a share table program, which was successful. And so it's a no-brainer. So I've worked for the past 4 years to expand it throughout the state. And that's how I've met all of my people from the Department of Agriculture and those different agencies that are part of our team. About a year and a half ago, quite a few of them were going off to this ReFed Food Waste Summit. And for those of you who are not familiar with ReFed, they're like the national leaders in food waste. So I felt like I needed to be there. And I went to the summit, and fortunately I was connected with people from California who wanted to learn about share tables. And they just so happened to be the group that coordinated California's Food Waste Prevention Week. And so after hearing about their week, lots of successes. As you can see, 54 million page views. They had all these endorsements, and they were lots of coverage for Food Waste Prevention Week. So I went back to my core group and I said, hey, you know what? California did this Food Waste Prevention Week. It seems like it would be not really easy, but it seems like it'd be something worthwhile to do. And so we had a call with California, and they shared all of their information and some of the templates that they used. And they partnered with the Natural Resource Defense Council, who has the Save the Food ads. So a lot of their materials were used as well. So we met with California, and from there on, we've been working to plan this week. So if you go to the next one. The way that the week works is it's the approach with your partners. So you have currently we have over 100 partners, which we're really happy about. And so the partners amplify the messaging to their internal workforce, to their networks, and then also through social media. So that's how it all goes out. And I'll have you go to the next one. So being the Green Chamber, I'm probably preaching to the choir, but most people do not realize, like I don't like to say I love reducing food waste. I prefer to say food conservation because I think it sounds more positive. But when we conserve food, we are helping families save money. And just like you had mentioned with your audience, with your businesses in the Green Chamber, some people are affected in sustainability. People relate to different messaging. Some people, they want to save money, they're going to pay attention to reducing food waste. And we know the average family of 4 can save up to $1,500 a year on food that's wasted. It helps to reduce hunger. Here in Florida, we waste approximately 3 million tons of food each year, while at the same time, 1 in 5 Floridians lack consistent access to nutritious food. So reducing food waste helps to reduce hunger. It also helps to protect the environment. Most people do not know, I will say I didn't know until I started studying Project Drawdown, that reducing food waste is actually the #1 personal action any of us could take to reverse climate change. So it helps to, what happens is when food ends up in the landfill, it creates methane gas, which is 30 times more potent than CO2. So keeping food out of the landfill protects the environment, not to mention all of the resources that are wasted when food's wasted. So we get to protect those. So during the week, there's lots of activities going on during the week. One of the activities is the Food Hero Photo Challenge. So part of our messaging is we have our daily messaging. So we started off the week yesterday, kicking it off, looking at what food means to me, because some people may not be passionate about food waste or understand it, but everybody loves food and everybody has different reasons, from culture to family to love to medicine. People have all kinds of reasons why they love food. So the first day, the thought is to connect people to food. And we were very fortunate, this is a side, we were very happy that the Tampa Bay Lightning, who's one of our partners, announced yesterday that people who post what food means to them and tag the Lightning and Save the Food FL, for every post, up to 500 posts, they will donate $10 to Feeding Tampa Bay. So they'll make a $5,000 donation for people posting, which is great. Today, we start looking at finding food waste. Where does food waste happen for us? You know, I posted today, all I have to do is open my refrigerator. I have celery I intended to eat. Now it's all wilted. So part of solving the problem is to identify it. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we start looking at solutions. So Wednesday, we have, and this, I'd love for you all to share this out. Wednesday, we have a webinar. It's the hospitality industry has come together and they planned a full day of all chef demos, best practices, to apps to reducing food waste, all types of things for the commercial sector. And then on Thursday, we're looking at solutions at home in our schools and communities. And Thursday's lineup is amazing. We have lots of in the morning, we start off with some grassroots groups who put refrigerators in communities and mobile school pantry solutions for schools. We also take a look at policy. At 11 o'clock, we'll be looking at what Florida food policy looks like. And then we also have a speaker from Vermont where they have our universal recycling policy, and seeing, you know, some things that we might be able to learn from them. At noon from Nashville, we're learning about Nashville's mayor did a food saver challenge with all their restaurants, which was pretty cool. If you're familiar with Surfrider has kind of like an ocean friendly restaurant certification. So it's similar in that they give restaurants kind of a menu or an option to choose of ways to reduce food waste, and then they get some type of certification or sticker, and then the mayor would go to their restaurant and they'd have social media and good PR for them as well. So we'll be talking about that Thursday, as well as Orlando is the NRDC, their Food Matters city. So the NRDC has partnered with the city of Orlando to implement all kinds of changes on reducing food waste. So they'll be sharing that. And then Friday, we end with ways to keep it going and a pledge. So the Food Hero Photo Challenge, as I mentioned, all you do based on the theme of the day, you just take a picture or look through your reel of pictures, add a caption to explain it, and then post it on social media, tagging at Save the Food FL. And then those are we talked about the themes for the day. And then that's a picture of one of our partners, Melanie. She's the food recovery specialist for the Department of Agriculture, finding her lost banana in her refrigerator. That's where her food waste happens. So that's the Food Hero Challenge. We also have, as I mentioned, the webinars. So if you go to our website, which is, I put in the chat, it's Save the Food FL. We have lots of virtual webinars, over 50 speakers that will be participating. So today we had our first Farm to Schools. If you would like to join us for the Hospitality Day or the Community Solutions Day, you just go to the homepage of the website. You could click and register and get the links. The pledge, as mentioned, is on Friday. We have on the website, there's a pledge sign that you could fill out and take a selfie with your pledge. And there's also, if you're not up for that, there's also an online pledge that you so when we spoke with California and talked about the week and what they would do differently, they said that they did not engage students and they really wish they would have. So obviously myself being a teacher, and we have one of the professors from FAU on board, we wanted to make sure that we engaged our youth in coming up with solutions to reducing food waste. So we partnered with the World Wildlife Fund, and we are hosting a K-12 student art contest, and it's going on all through this week. Submissions are due on Friday, and their job is to tell people what to do. You know, we know the research, if you tell people what not to do, you don't know behavior, you don't have behavior change. But if you want behavior change, you have to tell people specifically what to do. So they're coming up with visuals on expiration dates, loving imperfect food, for my celery solution, putting it in an ice bath for 5 to 10 minutes to revive it. So they will be creating art around reducing food waste. In March, it was March 12th through the 14th, we hosted a Food Future Hackathon where we brought together, it was virtual, and we brought together high school and university students to virtually hack out solutions to reducing food waste. And I need to, after when we pause, I'm gonna put the link so you could see some of the students' projects. They had 48 hours to come up with solutions and submissions, and they were outstanding. And one of the groups was from Ponte Vedra High School, and they were one of our winners. And those boys came up with an app that you scan your grocery receipt, and it will give you updates for food that you may need to use, and recipes and sharing and all kinds of great things.
Oh, that is cool.
Yes, so that's the student engagement. And Arizona State University is one of our partners, and they're hosting on Saturday a 3-hour teacher training where they're paying teachers a stipend to participate. So I feel like we've done a good job engaging our students. And then, so here's just some pictures of the hackathon, and I think the link will take you to their submissions. And then there's the art contest. Journey of Food. So the Florida Department of Agriculture is one of our partners, and they created the resource Journey of Food. So looking at each stop along the journey of food on our website, if you click on it, it has a list of resources, it has information about conserving food at each stop, and it has a list of all kinds of great resources and videos for people to use. And okay, so what California found was their partners really appreciated the communication toolkit that was provided for them. So our partners, we're not asking our partners to come up with their own posts, or although most of them have. On our website, we do include a communication toolkit. It explains day by day what's going on. It has a checklist of things and a timeline to prepare, as well as we have a complete daily social media calendar. We're putting, you could click on the next one. We are, this is what it looks like. It's available online as a PDF. In addition, we are putting these posts on Save the Food FL. So those organizations who just wish to repost may do that as well. But we have, as mentioned, we have the theme for each day. Tuesday, we look at the impacts. Today, we're looking at the environmental impacts of reducing food waste. Wednesday, we look at the economical, and Thursday, we focus on some of the social impacts. So that's our daily social media calendar. If you would like to partner, you could register online. It's under, if you look at Save the Food Florida, I had to shift things around a little bit. So it is under more. You could register as a partner, and we have a checklist, and the toolkit is there for you to use. And that is the abridged version.
Great.
So I am open to questions. And
all right, excellent. And we can go back to some of those slides because they have some great information. But this is where we like to open it up for Q&A and also discussion. So not just, we don't like just questions, but also having the community, the audience participate. And since it's a small group, if you want to just unmute yourself and ask some questions or give us your comments, that's great. And I have one right away, and I'm going to butt in front of everybody because I think that what you just mentioned, like with Nashville, I'd like you to please either give me a contact there or maybe a name of somebody, because I think that we should be doing similar type things here in North Florida. And I'd like to see kind of the ins and outs of how they partnered with the media. And we're also in the process of partnering with Surfrider for something different, but also including their ocean-friendly restaurants.
Okay.
So I'd like to hear, it sounds like they kind of took it above and beyond there and gave incentives and PR and had media relations. And I would just like to hear how they did that, because I think that that's something that we could do. So,
and he'll be speaking. His name is Todd Lawrence, and he's going to be speaking at noon on Thursday. We put, so Recycle Florida Today is another one of our partners. So all of the webinars we've put out, we'd love for cities across Florida to all hear this and maybe go back to their mayors and saying, okay, you know what, this is a great way to reduce food waste. And then on Wednesday, on Hospitality Day, they're going to make mention of it as well.
Yep. So I know we have Vicki on. I'm sure she would like to say something about that. And I know she shared a really cool link. And we're familiar with the Florida Recycles Today, actually a member of their group. So you have so much information squeezed into 1 week. I don't know how you do it, but it's so cool. I really wish that people would hear about this, and I'm going to do my best to share. So,
well, thank you. And it is this is the first ever Florida Food Waste Prevention Week. It's the first ever, and a lot of it has just kind of organically evolved. I know Vicki's part of Vicki is the one that's part of the Sustainable Events Network.
Yep. Yes.
I recognize your name.
Good. It's so nice to see your face, and I'm amazed. I shouldn't be, but I'm kind of amazed at the level of energy and passion you still have after all of this and putting this thing on. I posted a link about Hospitality Day tomorrow.
Good.
Before your links that you've posted, I also just posted a link about the video that was our Channel 4 up here did yesterday, a video with our local chef that's going to be part of the Hospitality Day tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah, and you know what? I would like to give you kudos for Joanna, of course.
Oh my gosh.
One of the
Next
most,
to you.
I adore her, and she's one of the most amazing people ever. But hospitality, she had that vision from the beginning, she had that vision. She's like, you know what? I think it's a great time with, the special events industry, the challenges that everyone's faced this past year. This might be a great time to all come together. And because you all had Hospitality Day, we started looking at, you know what? It would be great if the schools could learn about the mobile school pantry and the school food markets and, different. So really, you all taking the ball with Hospitality Day led to some of the other days kind of organically forming.
Great.
So thank you.
Very good. So I'm going to open it up we have 1 minute left. Does anybody else have any comments or questions? So Elaine, this is the first week that. Yeah. Oh, hi Tom. Yes, go ahead.
Hey. So yeah, I'm kind of fascinated. We do compost at home. So I'm just working on the micro level first. And because we've got a garden and we like to compost, so I'm kind of obsessed with that. And yet a lot of stuff, just sometimes I'm lazy, it goes in the trash. I'd never really heard that was an issue with landfills and methane, which is kind of fascinating to me. Knowing that most people don't want to compost, don't have the equipment, don't have a garden, what options does a typical homeowner really have?
Well, you know what?
How do they get rid of their stuff? Drag it into Mike Kelkhorse's property in town and just dump it there? What are the options?
Well, the good news is, whenever I would travel to the Northwest or California, you go to the airport in San Francisco and they've got composting in their airport and you're like, Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be nice if we even had something remotely similar in Florida? There are, it's starting to come there. We're starting to see lots more organizations that are forming to do in-home, there are local pickups. There are some gardens. I'm sure in your area, your group might be able to speak best to it. But I know for myself, I'm a gorilla. I live in a condo, so I do guerrilla composting. I keep everything in a bin in my refrigerator, and then I just go and I dump it in the bushes because I feel horrible putting in the garbage. So, but that is a great question. They are having, on Thursday, I put the link for the webinars. You could see all the speakers that are going to be there and what the topics are. O-Town Compost is doing a virtual tour of their facility. And at the 12:30 talk with Orlando, they'll be speaking about that as well.
So I'm familiar with O-Town, and they're great. O-Town Compost, and just to kind of comment, follow up on what Elaine said, Tom, I do know that Mayor Glasser has reached out to Mike, and that she's interested in doing some type of local community composting in Atlantic Beach. So any type of comment to her, whether a phone call or an email saying that you support it, it may or may not be related to Mike, but she did reach out that she's researching it and that they are very open to doing that. And the mayor in St. Augustine Beach also did the same thing. So they're looking at having some kind of residential curbside pickup for those areas. It's like Elaine said, I think that the compost side is coming, and I think that being able to save the food before it even goes to compost is the first step. So I have a full schedule this week, but I am going to move things around because I really want to go to some of these meetings that you have coming up on Wednesday and Thursday. They sound amazing, and it's very cool, and it's very innovative. It's very sustainable, and the methane that does come from food in the landfill is very disturbing. So it's a huge problem, a huge issue that people are not talking about, and I think that it needs more attention. So with that, we're actually 3 minutes over, and I know that I like to be conscious of everyone's time. So everybody, I hope, put their information and contact in the chat box. So everybody be sure to save that or copy that if you want to follow up with more comments or questions to anybody else. And then there's some very, very good links in the chat box. I know that there's the link to our Green Chamber YouTube channel where you can see all of our past meetings and things that we have on there. And Vicki also included the video of Chef Chris, who's a Green Chamber member who we helped get her compost up and running, and Vicki has shared that link, which is really amazing, everything that's going on. So with that, our time is over. We usually like to do a Tuesday at 2. If everybody has time, we can stick around for 10-15 more seconds. And Elaine, we like to ask everybody to please share a comment at the end of what your takeaway was from our meeting today. While you're thinking about it, I don't know if you can, it sounds like you're on mute again, but it doesn't say mute. I can't really hear you, but I will just mention that next week we do have our Tuesday at 2 next week, and we have Nancy Boyle with the Small Business Development Center, and she's going to be our speaker for next week. So some great things coming up.
Okay, good.
There you
Terrific.
are.
Yeah, thank you, Elaine.
You're welcome. And Vicki, 12:30, we'll be able to hear from Orlando and then a couple other cities about what they have going on as well. So I think
Great.
Part of the beauty of this week is being able to raise awareness. Conversations that maybe normally wouldn't take place are able to take place because of this event. So I thank you so much for having me, and feel free to reach out with any questions. I'm happy to chat you up. All right, thank you.
Tom, there's in that video with Chef Chris, there's something about a formula for composting. So you might want to view that when you get a chance.
Terrific. Good. Yeah, I just made a copy of that to put it in before I lose track of it. Yep, I'll take a look. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let me introduce you to Chef Chris. She does a couple different types of compost. So it's very interesting. If you need any recommendations with or any connection to her.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Enjoyed it.
Thanks, Christina.
Thanks, guys. Bye, everybody.